Perfect. Well, the next item on our agenda is to talk about our students on intensive interventions. And so I know Jamie and Mike, you guys have been monitoring those couple of kids. Jamie, you've been monitoring the ones that have already had behavioral assessments done and are having behavior support plans that are in special ed as part of your caseload. And Mike, you've got a couple that you've been following in general ed. So how are those students doing?
Yeah, well, Ricky, he's mostly a speech kid, but he's been having some blowouts, each week, and I'm just worried that, I don't think a lot of the staff know what to do, and maybe it's a communication issue. Beth, do you know more about kind of what's happening with the blowouts, or?
Well, I really think that it's more of a communication issue with the staff, so I think if we plan something around making sure everyone has a copy of the plan and making sure that everybody's understanding what their role is during those times, especially because he does have a crisis plan in place and behavior support plans. So I was hoping maybe we could sit down with the people that are working closely with him to make sure they're understanding, and possibly look at training them on some de-escalation techniques.
Yeah, just let them know I'm available. If you want to go back to your team and try and schedule something, let them know I'm available. I would be glad.
We have an IEP meeting scheduled for April 10th, so hopefully before then we could sit down and make sure everybody's on the same page and make any needed changes before we have that meeting.
Right, yeah, we can present the VSP for review during that meeting as well, and just make sure that in addition to the teaching staff, that all the other people in Ricky's life kind of know what's up with that.
Who wants to take which one of you, Beth? Because either one of you could sort of take the lead on the short term, you or Jamie. That kind of, do you want to do that, or Jamie, would it make sense for you to do it since you're seeing her more with the blowouts? Just to set that up and make sure everybody's on the same page with the plan that's in place now.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, perfect.
And his pre-referral paperwork is being completed as we speak, so that will be ready to go to the meeting.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you guys, there's 6 kids on plans, but 3 are making their goals, so we're
just have a couple of
we just have a couple that are not. The next one is Allie in 4th grade, and she's, we did the FBA, and I think at the time, because we thought it was more of an attention issue, but I'm noticing just with her academics, writing is really hard, and that's kind of when she's blowing out, and I'm wondering if maybe they look at the FBA, maybe it might be escape or.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. We can look at the FBA and I think consider some classroom observations too, just to take a look at, get some observable numbers on what is going on with that behavior and when it's being seen. So.
And I'll work with you, Mike, on getting those done, and we can get that information out.
That makes a lot of sense since Allie's already on an IEP and you can coordinate that team, because you may actually need to have an IEP meeting to make any changes.
I'm wondering just with this level of meeting, we should add some behavior goals at this point, because we kind of keep monitoring.
And it sounds like there's a potential that academic goals might need to be, depending on what you find in working with Mike. So maybe more comprehensive supports for Allie for sure. What do you think is a reasonable timeline? I know you guys, your schedules are filling up quickly with it being spring, to have a meeting set up and do some assessment.
Spring break.
We do.
Well,
Thank
this
goodness.
is important. We should really try to get on this as soon as we can. So I
Yeah.
think we'll have to make time, and hopefully, mid-May or mid-April, I'm sorry, we should be able to get that done.
Yeah, observations shouldn't be a problem for me if I can just tackle that and focus on the observations and report back, write that up, and get that to you before that meeting so that we can be on the same page.
What about in the short term? Would it make sense to have Allie spend a little bit more time in a different intervention group for academics? If the teacher's having a really hard time, could we try looking at a different sort of, just to try something out and see if that would help the teacher so that the short term?
Yeah, well, she's already getting writing support on her IEP. Is there?
Maybe she could come to one of your groups.
Yeah, she could join mine. I think I know which group she would fit best in, so we can try it.
Yeah, that might be nice.
I'm
Right, yeah, the teacher, I know, hasn't been involved as we might have liked in a situation like this, and so it might be a good time again to try and go into the classroom and do some observations about how the plan is being rolled out, and going back to maybe some of the basics, making sure that the teacher has a copy of the plan, do some Q&A with them.
Mr. Moody, you know, is kind of a tough teacher, so I think if you can present that in a way that, you know, about how to support him, and what, you know, maybe we need to make some changes to the plan so that it's more feasible for him to implement, because implementing something at this point is going to be better than nothing, so I think.
So the simpler the better.
Yeah.
Just to create some momentum and get some things tried in the classroom.
Yeah.
Mike, if you find you're not getting anywhere with Mr. Moody, maybe I can help you out with that. I have a pretty good relationship with him. So.
Yeah, that would be great.
Great, I would appreciate that.
I know he's pretty frustrated. He feels like he's pretty much tried everything and nothing's working.
All right, well, this might be a good time to offer some help.
Yeah, yeah. So what's a good timeline for you for that one? You've got a couple things going on now.
You know, because it's not so much about writing the behavior support plan as it is about just reviewing it and following up with the teacher, you know, that saves a lot of time right there. So if we're thinking about the other stuff that's going on, probably by the 12th,
Okay.
we could work that out.
Perfect. That'd be great. Any other kids that we need to talk about in individualized plans?
No.
No, just those three? Well, that's a handful right there, those guys.